Good evening there, Wargamers, and welcome to another short technique slash product review tutorial. I don't know how to describe this. I found this really cool thing and I just want to show it to you. For those of you who watch my live show on Mini Wargaming, Brush for Hire Live, you may have seen this in the last episode where I worked on some custom basing. This is Liquitex modeling paste. It is fantastic stuff. I've been able to fill gaps and all kinds of other things with it. It doesn't really shrink very much, so if you're doing just really superficial stuff like filling in tiny little places, this stuff is great. It's sandable after it's dry completely. So what I wanted to show you today actually was a really cool technique that I figured out how to do with it, and maybe you'll be inspired to try it out. Let me know what you think of it if you get your hands on it. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut down here to the my work surface and you can take a look at it. So I know everybody has seen tons of this stuff. It comes in every blister pack for just about every game out there, with the exception of the new Finecast stuff. This comes in just about everything. So I've actually already broken off a little piece of this. This stuff is a little coarser than usual. This is the stuff that comes in the Drop Zone Commander packs. I like this. All the other normal sized foam stuff works fine, but I really like this gauge here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this modeling paste. Let's just use, there's a little piece of cork here. I'm going to squeeze out a little bit of this paste right there. And just going to grab a little bit of it. And what we're going to be doing is creating a sort of rusted, necrotic sort of look. And I'm just sort of working it into the pores here, just on one of the corners. There we go. And you can test it out on another flat surface like a piece of paper. Let me see if I've got something later. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So I've got this piece of cork. Let's get this guy out of the way for a moment. And you just sort of dab it on a particular area. And let me see if I can get a bit closer so you can see. So it leaves a really textured surface here. There we go. That's even better. So you can see leaves a really nice texture. We're looking for almost kind of like a rust. We're going to be painting back over this. So I've got a model that's primed. I wouldn't suggest doing this on a model that isn't already primed. And my reason for that is you need something for this stuff to bind down to. It's essentially an acrylic product. So I'd just be careful on anything that isn't already primed and ready for paint. Okay, so you can see here we got pretty smooth areas. I want to pick areas that I think that are going to look really nice as completely rusted out. So I'm just going to start poking this down in there. It looks like we got a little much. That's okay. So now you can see we got that there, and maybe we don't want it on the rim of the shoulder pad, so I'm just going to take my finger in here and just wipe off a little bit of that. So you can see we've got this really mottled, very damaged looking texture. Maybe we'll get a little bit down here around the base of the leg there, and we can go back in and just wipe some of that away a little bit. I'll just use a drier part of that to sort of push it around a little bit. So you can see there. And let's get a little on this arm over here, his gauntlet. If you don't want it in a particular place while it's still wet, just wipe it away. And maybe a little bit up top here. A little bit right there. And I think that's probably pretty good. So you can see it's really easy, and this stuff dries rock hard, so you can just paint right on over it. and it's actually designed to be mixed with paint. It is a paint medium, I think it's designed specifically to give your paint 3D effects on a canvas. So since this little guy is our canvas, we can mix it with paint if we want to. Actually, I'm going to see if I can get just a little bit of this right down on his head. Like I said, if you get a little bit in a place that you don't like, just sort of wipe it away. I'll try and get a little more cake to the top of his head there. Yeah, there we go. A little bit here and there. I think it looks pretty good. And like I said, you just let this dry completely. You can paint right over it, but you can see we got lots of really awesome texture here, and you can tone it down a little bit if it's a little too peaky for you, but turn it a little bit, you can see that there's just tons and tons of texture there, and it stays workable for at least a handful of minutes, so it's pretty easy to do it like that. I figure you can also probably use this to create streaks of moss up the side of a structure or building or something, and then just paint it green. You can also add a little bit of flocking to do the same, but if you're doing like model making where you want to create the texture before you make the mold, I think this stuff would be excellent for that. But just make sure that whatever surface you're putting this down on is ready for acrylic paints, because this is essentially an acrylic type paint. So those are my suggestions. At least if any of you guys have used a material like this before, I think I'd be very interested to hear what you have to say. I think a lot of the techniques that you could do with this, you could probably do with liquid green stuff or any other really viscous acrylic paints. But I've got to say, this is by and large the cheapest way that you're going to be able to do this technique. This modeling paste is absolutely fantastic for doing surface texturing like that when you're trying to do something organic. And this is 6.78 fluid ounces of this paste. I believe a tub of liquid green stuff is only 0.4 ounces, if I'm not mistaken, and that's just shy of $4 US, whereas this is a little over double that. This is I think $8 or $9, and you can buy it at most craft stores, and a lot of the craft stores in the US run 40% off coupons regularly in the newspapers and on mobile apps, so quite a steal. And a really great way to get some rusty, really gritty organic texturing on your armor plates. You can also use it to dirty things up. You can add pigments to it, maybe not pigment powder, but you can add paint to it to thicken it up if you wanted to do some sort of stucco effect. I think this would be a fantastic product. So just a interesting product and some tips on how to use it. I hope you guys enjoyed that mini tutorial. Thanks for watching. Please tune in for future videos on this and many other things. If you guys would like to set up a commission of your own for painted miniatures or terrain or anything of the like wargaming related, please let us know. You can contact us at brushforhire.minis@gmail.com, and you can follow what we're working on at our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/brushforhireminiatures, all one word, or on our website, brushforhire.com. So until we see you next time, thank you, and happy wargaming.